Every story has two sides. But what happens when one side refuses to back down and the other holds all the power of live television? Welcome to Luxuriato 1, where silence is shattered and the truth never waits for permission. It was supposed to be just another morning interview. The Good Morning America set was bright, polished, buzzing with quiet control. George Stephanopoulos sat in his familiar chair, flipping through his notes. He looked calm, composed, the picture of seasoned broadcast professionalism. Across from him sat Meghan Markle. Elegant as ever, dressed in a deep navy dress that seemed to command attention even before she spoke. But beneath her composed expression, there was tension. Something was brewing. The world knew this appearance mattered. Meghan hadn't been on a major American talk show in over a year. Rumors about her and Prince Harry, about deals gone bad, cancelled projects, Hollywood doors closing swirled in every headline. Some said this was her comeback. Others whispered it was her last stand. And George? He wasn't going to let this be a puff piece. The interview began gently enough. Background questions about family, mental health, motherhood. Meghan answered smoothly, offering carefully chosen words, measured tone. Then George leaned in just slightly. Some critics say you've capitalized on your royal title while simultaneously criticizing the institution that gave it to you. How do you reconcile that? The air shifted. The studio chilled by degrees. Meghan paused, eyes narrowing. She tilted her head slightly and responded, "What I've done is use my voice to speak out against hypocrisy, especially when it harms others." George smiled, but not kindly. "And yet you signed multi-million-dollar deals based in part on that very title. Netflix, Spotify, a broken bar, those weren't interested in just your voice. They wanted a duchess." A sharp breath escaped off camera. The control room, reportedly, froze. But Meghan didn't flinch. She looked directly at George and said, "Are you suggesting I have no identity beyond a title given by marriage? That a woman can't be heard without being accused of leveraging power she didn't ask for?" A murmur rippled through the production crew. George didn't miss a beat. "I'm suggesting," he replied, voice low, "that public trust comes from consistency. And some might argue that your story has shifted a broken bar depending on which camera is rolling." Meghan blinked. Just once. The smile dropped. "You mean the way the media shifts its narrative to tear down women of color who don't play by royal or Hollywood rules?" George paused, as if choosing his next words carefully. But before he could speak, Meghan cut in. "This isn't journalism, George. It's an ambush wrapped in polite condescension." It wasn't a shout. It didn't need to be. The words landed like a slap in a silent room. "And George?" He nodded slowly. "I think our viewers can decide that for themselves." For a few agonizing seconds, there was silence. Cameras kept rolling. Producers held their breath. The tension didn't ease, it sharpened. And then it happened. Meghan stood up. Not rushed. Not dramatic. Just with the deliberate calm of someone who knew exactly what she was doing. She looked down at George. "If your viewers still think women like me owe them an explanation for not being quiet, then maybe they're not ready for the truth." She turned, microphone still clipped to her dress, and walked off set. No wave. No look back. What followed was chaos. Reports say George remained seated, stone-faced, while producers scrambled to fill the next segment. Twitter exploded within minutes. Hashtags like #MeghanWalksOut, #Macklash, and #Stephanopoulos Markle were trending worldwide. The video clip racked up millions of views before noon. Every news outlet was running it on loop. Was she unprofessional? Was George out of line? Everyone had an opinion. By midday, public reaction was sharply divided. Some praised Meghan for standing her ground, calling her a modern icon refusing to be bullied by legacy media. Others accused her of being evasive, dramatic, and overly sensitive to legitimate questions. But here's where it got worse. An anonymous GMA staffer leaked a portion of the pre-interview briefing. Allegedly, Meghan's team had requested to avoid questions about the royal title or failed deals. The leak claimed those boundaries were agreed upon then ignored. If true, that would mean George blindsided her. If false, it meant Meghan was deflecting again. Both scenarios were fuel to a fire already out of control. Later that day, ABC issued a short statement. At Good Morning America, we believe in fair and balanced conversations. We respect all our guests. Short. Cold. Rehearsed. Meghan's spokesperson, on the other hand, released a pointed message. The Duchess of Sussex agreed to a respectful dialogue. What she received was a hostile interrogation disguised as journalism. She will continue to speak her truth on her terms. That only added more heat. Pundits lined up on both sides of the media war. Daytime